Hi, I'm Greg Bancroft, and welcome. This is my YouTube channel where I use the language and metaphors of baseball to counter the toxic shame that we find in everyday life. This is Volume 2, Number 13, One of a Kind. When I was younger, my grandmother used to say that when you point a finger at someone, be careful because three fingers are pointing at you. This was usually in reference to saying something critical about another person. So we would point a finger at someone and say, for example, boy, they eat a lot of junk food. Meanwhile, we're munching on a bag of chips or junk food ourselves. And then we're critical of the way the other person looks. So it's a blind spot. It's a shadow, if you will, that we're unable to acknowledge in our own lives and deal with. And so we point a finger at someone and criticize them. They judge another person and take delight in putting them down, thus putting themselves in a one-up position as if I'm better than you or I'm better than that other person. Well, let's look at a healthier way to keep score. When you go to a softball game or a baseball game, that's an opportunity for us to keep score. There are various kinds of books that people can use, some getting really elaborate. I like mine fairly simple. I like to keep track of hits, balls, strikes, runs, and so on. This is a copy of the book that I use. And I write things about our family, stuff that happened during the week in the margins. I note the crowd size, the final score. I talk a little bit about the weather. It's hot or humid or it's a little bit drizzly, whatever it is. And the way my book is set up, you can see a brief history of our family through the lens of baseball. It's kind of like a journal. So we list milestone events in our book. One such page, when you open it up, tells the announcement of our son, his engagement to our now daughter-in-law. So it's kind of fun to see that in the context of a baseball game. The tying baseball, family traditions, and family history together is one aspect of keeping a scorebook that I love. The other one is what I would call a theological reflection. Let me show you what I mean. Looking at just one page of a scorebook, for example, it's easy to see that each page, each game is unique. It's one of a kind. This one is totally different from this one. The names may be the same, at least for the home team, and they may even be in the same batting order, at least several games in a row. But their performances will vary greatly over the course of different games. Some games they'll take a few pitches, they'll get some hits, they'll score some runs, drive some runs in. Other games they'll take a lot of pitches, they might strike out, they might walk, they might not get so many runs or might not get any runs at all. It may commit some errors on defense, that kind of thing. There is no end to the variety of marks and scratches that can be put into a score sheet. There will never be another game exactly like this one. Nor has there ever been another game exactly like this one. And here's where the theology comes into play. Of all the permutations and combinations of genes and chromosomes available to us in the history of the world, there has never been another you. There's never been another me. Nor will there ever be another you or me ever again. We're absolutely unique, one of a kind, special. You have every right to be here, and so do I. So does everyone. Our interests will vary, our skills, our abilities, our gifts, they all vary, of course. And interestingly enough, they all work together if we would allow ourselves to see the interconnectedness of everyone else. Like a baseball team, some nights, all of us are in the zone. We're getting hits, we're scoring runs, we're playing solid defense. In other words, we're engaged in our community, we're taking part in civic activity, making our community the best it can be. Okay. Other nights, we're a bit off. We're not so engaged. No matter, we need the whole team to play ball. Likewise, we need the whole community to work together to make a civil society. The uniqueness and importance of every single person is a lot like the uniqueness and importance of a baseball score sheet. Both are one of a kind. They're unique and special in its own way. Atta girl, atta boy, you got this.